This one's pretty unique. In The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, after Link returns to the past and stops Ganondorf's scheme, he goes exploring, and he happens to find himself in a parallel universe. Now, because this isn't a parallel universe, the way time works here may not have any impact on the main timeline, though it really depends on how the timelines function in conjunction to each other. Here in the land of Termina, a Skull Kid with a special item called the Majora's Mask is going to cause the moon to crash into the Earth in 3 days. However, this is not enough time for Link to be able to stop the moon from crashing into the Earth, and so he has to use the Ocarina of Time to repeatedly go back in time at the beginning of the 3-day cycle so that he can eventually accomplish enough things to be able to stop the moon from crashing. Now, the way the Ocarina of Time works, Link doesn't just jump into the past 3 days, but rather, the Ocarina of Time causes a selective rewind so that only certain things are affected by the rewind. In this case, everything rewinds backwards in time, except for Link and certain things on his person. Link can bring some items with him, and others he cannot bring. What exactly the reasoning is unclear. However, whenever Link goes into the past with an item, the original owner of the item will still have it, and will have 2 versions of the same item at the same time. If Link receives the duplicate item from the original owner, the 2 items merge into one. So we see that this timeline system tries not to have duplicates and tries to reconcile it as best as it can. Now, Link's goal, in order to stop the moon, is to free these 4 red giants who are willing to help him, but he has to set them free from the monsters that are keeping them trapped in their dungeons. Well, the problem is, whenever Link goes back in time, that would reset his progress. But we see that this actually isn't the case. Whenever Link helps all 4 of the giants and then resets time, and then uses a special song to summon them, they all show up to help, despite the fact that time has been reset. This is also true of the 4 bosses containing them in the first place. We see that whenever you return to the dungeons after defeating the bosses the first time, even though time has been rewound and the boss is still alive, they no longer have a hold over the giant, and they actually remember Link and will challenge him to a rematch. So it seems that these 8 creatures, the 4 bosses and 4 red giants, have some sort of a special immunity to time or time travel. Once Link successfully stops Skull Kid and the Majora's Mask, time continues as normal, and he carries on about his life. Overall, Majora's Mask seems to operate on a dynamic timeline, with the time travel system being a rewind rather than a jump.